You are the living story of your ancestors. Where you are today was determined not only by your actions, but also by the actions of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and those of your ancestors hundreds and thousands of years ago. Their movements, choices, successes, and failures. You, sitting here with us today, are the direct result of a culmination of conduct by innumerable people. Genealogy is the second most popular hobby in America. My roots are third, fourth, fifth, and sixth generation American, but my roots also run deep in the soil of Italy, the farmlands of Ireland, and the potteries of England. The past seems so distant to many of us, but we are its children, and we're not always very good at listening to our parents. Humanizing our history makes that past palpable. It makes the people personal. It makes the journeys your ancestors took an integral part of who you are. When they become real people, instead of just names in a book or a photo on the wall, their experiences can teach us. Discovering the stories of our ancestors provides lessons in empathy, in humility, in forgiveness, and compassion. Meet Fanny Morelli. Born in Italy, she arrived to New York City with her family at the age of 4. In her teens, Fanny was a suffragette, even though she wouldn't be able to vote as a non-citizen. She later told a family member, it was just something that had to be done. She married an Italian at 19, and he naturalized 4 years later, just after the laws had changed that would have made Fanny an automatic citizen too. She was widowed in 1940 as World War II loomed. She started the process to naturalize herself, but not soon enough. Once war broke out, Fanny was labeled an enemy alien. She had to surrender radios and cameras, carry special identification at all times, register with the government. Fanny finally became a citizen in December 1943, after Italy's surrender, and after answering lengthy questions about her support of the war effort, about where her true sentiments lie. This was a woman who likely had no memory of her home country. She was treated like a criminal simply because of where she was born. She was treated like a criminal simply because of where she was born. This enemy alien was my great-grandmother. When I learned this story, I was really astounded. She was always just Grandma Fanny. She never gave any hints to the adversity she faced, and she was always so grateful to the country she called home. If she could persevere in the face of all that. We always joked she lived to 96 because she was widowed young and didn't have a man to bother her. It was likely the result of a thick skin and a strong work ethic, both of which she perfected involuntarily. Knowing that's my stock is humbling. To think of her and the dozens of other ancestors I have who got on a boat and left behind everything they knew to create better lives for themselves and their children gives me pride and courage. And it connects me to all of the people that do the same today. Decades, centuries may separate their journeys, but the hope for a better life knows no era. Many fled persecution at home just to pave the streets here. They were already meant to be golden. Research conducted through Emory University shows that children who know stories of their family are more resilient, have higher self-esteem, and feel they have more control over their lives. Dr. Marshall Duke and Dr. Robin Fivish say that family knowledge can lead to a robust intergenerational self when one feels connected to something bigger than themselves. This is strongest when a child knows a mix of family stories, the good and the bad, with family as the constant. It's not just immigrants whose stories ring true today. Along the way, you find stories of life in the Jim Crow South, which for some is still a reality. You find a widow left with small children who ends up in the poorhouse at the mercy of government assistance. You find that Grandpa's cherished mother was an unwed, single parent, cast aside not only by her family, but by her entire congregation. Or Uncle Ben. You realize maybe he and his dear friend weren't actually bachelors after all. When we place ourselves there with our ancestors in those moments, we live those struggles and joys with them. We understand them better, and we understand ourselves better. The stories connect us across the generations, and just maybe they challenge our perceptions of what we think we know. All unwed mothers must be immoral sinners, right? But what about Great-Grandma Tilly? Gay people don't deserve equal rights. But Uncle Ben and his friend? If we let it, the other becomes our family. They become us. These people we uncover along the way quite literally make us who we are. My father is 100% Southern Italian, but his DNA also includes North African, Middle Eastern, Caucasus, and European Jewish. While I may never be able to find the paper records that take me back to those non-Italian ancestors, remnants of them remain in the blood that runs through my veins. This gives new perspective. Syrians, Iraqis, and Yemeni are not just casualties of war on the news. They are my cousins. DNA shows us we are more alike than we are different. It shatters the idea of a pure race, even when we think we are only from one place. We are actually of many places. In the American South, case after case exists where descendants of slaves hold close to 1/4 European DNA, and descendants of slaveholders also frequently have African DNA. We often want to divorce ourselves from this history, but a climb up the family tree pits you and history face to face. Do you fight that battle against your own past, or do you learn from it? Of course, this research is not always easy to stomach or to conduct. Tracing slaves is notoriously difficult. Every country of origin will be different in terms of what records are available. But stories of perseverance and strength and hard times can be found in every generation. In just 6 generations, roughly 150 years, you are directly descended from 128 people. That is a lot of stories. Our ancestors may not have made the history books, but they wrote the history and the story of us. Knowing our genealogy connects us to the ground beneath our feet. If we disregard these roots, we lose the very foundation we are built upon. Our ancestors can awaken within us a new understanding of the world we live in. We once were them, and in no small part still are. Our ancestors have a lot to tell us and a lot to teach us. Let's listen. Thank you.